You remember in the video of this morning we spoke about Igor Tudor because the papers were speaking about him. All the papers, Igor Tudor's chances to stay at Juve are increasing. Juventus is thinking already today to continue next season with the Croatian coach. What did I tell you? Calma, tranquilli, and I stand by it. It's too soon, it's too early. It's not the win against Lecce 2-1 that will actually make the plans change. The plans are clear. We continue till the end of the season, and then we see. Qualification to Champions League is fundamental, but it's not only that. There are much more things. And if we go with, okay, that's the plan, but after 3 games, 7 points out of 9, we already go, he's the one, he's the guy, and then he loses next week, hopefully not, against Parma. It's not the one anymore. It's maybe a bit too fast. Nevertheless, it's true that he's really impressing a lot of people at Juve. It's true that is even surprising some people at Juve, that is convincing, and I'm not speaking about the players, but they're on top a lot of people. So what are the reasons why? And I try to listen left, right, to have a bit of info from inside La Continassa, so I will try to report you what convinced Tudor, or actually the management, to open an eye. I will not say to confirm Tudor, but open an eye, and to say, before changing him, before going for another coach, we want to be cautious. We want to weigh everything. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Second video of the day. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe because we go with a short video. But a few points. Why? First of all, and that's something that you know, that I know, that the world know. It's not a secret. He understands perfectly where he is. The missing Juventinità. Look, I tell you something. It's not a secret. There is no time. And probably not the know-how, the knowledge to share, to explain that Juventinità with a new coach. Because Giuntoli is there since 2 years, because the management is new, because a lot of leaders, they were already gone. Thinking about Buffon, Del Piero, Chiellini, etc., etc. And the leaders that were there, also there during a difficult cycle, were in the summer, they all went away. I speak about the Danilo, about the Szczesny, etc. And it's also really strange that the players needs to explain to the coach what Juve is. He understands perfectly what Juventus is. Perfectly. And he doesn't need someone to tell him. He knows. He said, I will. I take care of that Juventinità. Look, the way how we arrived at Juve, 10 hours with a car from Split to La Continassa was a fantastic example. And he said, it's not the first time that I'm doing by car. I don't know if you heard that story or not. He said it's not the first time that I arrived by car. It's not something extraordinary. I did exactly the same in 98. The first time that Juve called me, I came with a car. And when I arrived in it was not La Continassa back then, but in the training center in Torino, well, the people, they were laughing with me because the car was not the same as the one that I have now. So a funny story, but it's not the first time that he comes by car from Croatia to Italy. The press conferences, the welcome press conference, we spoke about it, fantastic one, but also the pre-game press conferences, the post-game press conference, the winning mentality, the words that he's choosing to speak, the anecdotes, that work ethic that he's showing. Pedalare is a new word that you need to put in your Italian dictionary. Pedalare, pedaling, working. And that's a bit that missing Juventinità. Understanding perfectly where he is, of course, that player experience, that technical staff from Pirlo experience are absolutely helping to go faster. And that was the first point. It's not only. The second point, you will probably be surprised. Open to collaborate. Open to listen. It's something that they appreciated a lot at La Continassa with the players. Some example, Cambiaso, where prefers to play left and right. Then it's not working, maybe it will change from the next game, but being open to listen, to dialogue, to communicate, super important. But also, and especially with the management, which is extremely important. Every day, speaking with Giuntoli. And a backstage story that I heard is that while he was arriving, probably already in the car, but also since he's there, he's absolutely not afraid to call that person from inside La Continassa, but also people external that could give him a help. That player, that ex-friend, someone that is watching from the distance, maybe a player that he played with. What do you think? What do you know? And that way of being extremely open and saying, I'm here, but I want to take all the resources that are available to make actually me, but also Juve stronger, is something that I extremely appreciated. Much more than the ex-coach Thiago Motta that was on that point extremely closed. I will do my way. I don't need. Leave me alone. If possible, don't even come to the training center. I will. Well, Tudor is much more open, and they are appreciate that. That doesn't mean that it's a sign of weaknesses. He's not weak in decision making. He's not asking permission to make the starting 11, to make some subs, to ask how he needs to train. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. Story. After the game, I told you that he was pissed off the last 10 minutes against Lecce. He entered the locker room, and normally it was planned that they had the day off on Sunday. He said, no day off. Tomorrow, all in La Continassa, all to work there. There is no day off. What about Monday? Someone said. No, tomorrow, La Continassa. Then we will see. It was extremely important for him to not let them go at home after the 2-1 with these last 10 minutes that were really horror, and then coming back after the weekend, after the results of Lazio, Roma, Fiorentina, etc., to think, but we won, it's okay. No, he wanted immediately to push on the things that were not okay, to let them understand that it's absolutely not okay how some people enter the field, but also to let them understand that the players that were on the field the last 10 minutes were not managed really well. So to tell them it's not okay. Then he said his word, his message on Sunday. People understood it, they worked really well, and he gave them the Monday as a day off. So the day off was postponed, but initially it never answered if they would have received a day off this week. So just to tell you, he's absolutely not weak and he's not asking any permission. He's going straight. Accepted also absolutely by the management. A third point is the rebirth of some players, important one, Yildiz, the star. The one that we were asking a more central role, that we were asking more goal contributions, that we were asking to find back a smile on his face. And I think that on Yildiz, the three things, it's a success mission after 3 games, of course. And let's see if he will be able to keep it with continuity until the end of the season. But Yildiz is really a beautiful one. The second name, Nico Gonzalez, playing there 3 games in a row. 2 games as a right wing back, 1 game behind the striker. Nico Gonzalez that is doing really well. He said himself, he's feeling much better. He's again involved. He's again playing. He's again working. While in some games at the end of the Thiago Motta era, he was totally lost. So the rebirth of Nico Gonzalez, that was an investment. Dusan Vlahovic, I didn't like his performance against Genoa. I didn't like his performance against Roma. But I must say, and I said it immediately after the game, that against Lecce, 2 assists that were really beautiful. A few misses. It's not magically that he became now Cristiano Ronaldo edition prime. No. But I see that he's again involved into the game. I see again that he's starting to do some movements that the coach is asking him. So, rebirth of Dusan Vlahovic, it was not difficult because he was not even warming up anymore during the games. Oh, bravo. And if he is able to also give a rebirth or maybe a bird, because he was not born yet at Juve, a bird to Koopmeiners, I tell you, I wanted to say casino, I wanted to say jackpot, but maybe it's not the moment to speak about these kind of gambling games. But that would be bingo. Bingo. Because we know it. The company, Giuntali, the club, they invested a lot in a Douglas Luiz, in a Koopmeiners, in a Nico Gonzalez. 3 players that we were saying flop, flop, flop. If he's able, before the end of the season, maybe even at the Club World Cup, to have a rebirth of these players, attenzione. A fourth point, the gameplay. Guys, you can say whatever you want, but it was a long time ago that I didn't see a Juve like that. And that's probably the point where Tudor wants to show the most of. Because he said it, I'm not only a caretaker, I am not only a Juventino. Being a Juventino alone is not enough. I'm not only a motivator on the sideline. I'm much more than that, and I want to show it. Look, vertical, intensive football is something that we start to see. Functional football, the result is super important. If I need to put Savona there, at the end, changing that 3-4-2-1 in something different, towards a 3-5-2, towards a 4-man defense. I don't care. I do it because I want to win. Super important. Winning mentality. Fino alla fine vincere non è importante, è l'unica cosa che conta. That goes again to that first point. Juventinità. Then, is it because of results that the management is changing? No, it's way too early. I told you we played only 3 games. Cheap? Don't forget about that. Yes, it's true. That's also something that they are considering. Tudor, if he remains at Juve, is extremely cheap if we are comparing with other names on the market that could possibly sit on the bench of Juve. And these are, at the moment, reasons why Juventus is saying, we didn't take any decision. We are not convinced 100% that Tudor will be the coach next season. But from the moment that we will have to take a decision, well, the impact is beautiful. We will really observe and take Tudor's candidature, the CV, the application of Tudor into consideration. Let me know what impressed you about Tudor in these first weeks, and if yes or no, you would confirm it, or if you need a bit more time to take a decision. Juventini, grazie to be here again for the second video of today. Grazie, forza, Juve.